Hey everybody, it's Allie Palmgren from the Weston Public Library. I am just here to talk a little bit today about our digital collection that's available through Overdrive. So you guys might be familiar with Overdrive. It's one of our more classic products that has a variety of different kinds of media available. So it's got books and audiobooks and magazines, some streaming video. It's awesome. It is our largest collection of digital audiobooks and ebooks available to patrons. Something that's pretty cool about it is we do share this wonderful collection with our fellow libraries in Minuteman, which is great because it allows us to have a really broad collection of books and audiobooks available to you. So just wanted to give you a little rundown on how it works. So the easiest thing to do, we're here right now, but I'm going to get us started from our website just because it's pretty much the easiest way to get there. So on our website, we have a few different locations where you can access this. This is westonlibrary.org. You can get to it from ebooks and much more right at the top. Or on the left-hand side, you'll see our digital library. And this has the quick links to some of our most popular services. The one right on the top is ebooks and audiobooks through Overdrive. Now, you can borrow more than that on there, but those are the most popular things. So when you click on it, it brings you to Overdrive. Now, the best thing that you can do is actually sign in right off the bat, because when you sign in, it shows you additional titles that are available to you. And that's because Weston is very fortunate in that we participate in a program called Advantage. And what that does is it lets us purchase additional copies of titles that are popular among our patrons, our Weston residents, that allow them to jump the line, let's say, and get access to these titles that we've purchased just for you guys. Now, if you guys are through reading them or you're something that you're not interested in as a community anymore, it does go out to the rest of the network. So those are available to other folks. But as soon as a Weston patron places a hold on titles we've purchased just for you, it jumps you to the front of the line so you get the next available copy. It's pretty awesome. So if you see these long hold times on some popular titles, don't worry too much about it, because if you put your name on the list and it's one of the titles we purchased through the Advantage program, you'll get it a lot faster. If it isn't and you still see a long wait time, also okay, please place a hold, because that tells us what you're interested in and that we need to buy additional copies of that title. All right, so let's sign in. That'll give us our full collection. So it makes you select your library. So Minuteman Library Patrons is us. And then you'll put in your library card number. I'm going to put in one of my cards here. Okay, and we're going to hit sign in. Awesome. So that gets us all signed in. Usually at the top here, there'll be a general announcement, sometimes a specific collection to call your attention to. Right now is our Big Library Read, which is a book that's available to all patrons all at the same time, which is a little bit different than some of our other books, because oftentimes we'll have a title that only has 50 copies available throughout the network or something like that. So if it's really popular, you might have to wait a little while. But with some of these, we do have books that have concurrent checkouts available, meaning a lot of folks can read it at the same time. So if you do use a mobile device, such as a phone or a tablet, to read, we do recommend using Libby, which is the Overdrive, the new Overdrive app. The old Overdrive app still works, but Libby's available through the App Store, through the Google Play Store, and through the Microsoft Store. And it's a really great reading experience. So if you are on a phone or a tablet, we highly recommend using Libby. It's a similar layout to what you see here, and a lot of the steps will be the same, so you can keep on following along even if you do use it on your tablet. So there are magazines available, and they're always available. So if somebody's reading Reader's Digest, you can also check out and read Reader's Digest at the same time. So there are a lot of magazines available. If you don't see the magazine that you're interested in here, also no big deal, because we have another service called RB Digital that has some of the most popular magazines available at all times to all of our patrons. So Weston patrons can go onto RB Digital. I'll do another video about that and read the New Yorker and National Geographic and some of those popular magazines. but there are a whole bunch available here. So we've got a whole bunch of other great books here. Some no line, no waiting stuff. So these are the things I was talking about before, where there's a lot of copies available for everybody. I'm going to scroll back up to the top though, and we're going to take a look at things. So there are ways to break down what you're looking for: kids and teens, always available, magazines, or you can go by subject. That's kind of one of my favorite things to do, is go by subject, especially if I know that I'm interested in a particular type. So I'm going to go with thriller. I love me a good mystery, and I love a thriller. So I'm going to use that. Now, on the side here on the left, you have different ways you can break it down. You can do things that are only available now. Okay, that sounds good to me. I want something to read now. I'll do available now, and it adds that little facet, which is great. Now, I only want it as an ebook, let's say. So I don't care what kind, maybe, or maybe I do. I'm just going to read it on my browser. So I'm going to read it on my computer. So I'm just going to call it Overdrive Read. Cool. So that's great. So we'll look at a whole bunch here. They just added some of these great thrillers recently. So these are some of the more new acquisitions if you sort by date added. I'm going to just sort by popularity. I'm going to see what other people are reading. Okie dokie. Okay. Lots of really, really good ones. Oh, I've read so many of these. Okay. So I really love 9 Perfect Strangers. I'm going to borrow it just because it's a really, really interesting book. Leanne, I can't pronounce her name. Either way, Moriarty is a super author. If you like Big Little Lies was her big one. But if you like kind of things that keep you guessing, she's a good one. So I'm going to click right on it. So that's super. You get a little description. You can read other people's reviews. If you want to read a little more, they'll tell you about it. And I am going to click borrow. So this is, there are 4 copies out of 179 copies in the network available. One of those could be a Advantage copy just for us Weston patrons, but no matter what, there are 4 available, so we're going to grab one of them. So I hit borrow, and then you can choose your lending period. So it says borrow for 21 days because that's my default. You can choose shorter, either 7 or 14 days. I usually recommend going with 21 and then just returning it when you're done with it. So I hit borrow. Okay, so I can either send this to my Kindle, which I often do if that's what I prefer, or I could read it in my browser. I think I'm going to do that. Nice. Okay, so this is the book. If I click on it, it just goes to the next page and the next page, dedication page. Here we are. Okay, so this is just the actual title. So we're in the book and we can keep on reading. Now you can change some of your reading settings if you like, but that's kind of where I'm at. It opened it up in a separate tab. So if you look at the very top, I can go right back to my main page without closing the book, which is great. All right, so that's that. I'm going to close the book right now just by closing the tab and go to my loans page. And that'll show me what I have currently checked out. And right now, it's just this one. So I can borrow 10 titles at a time. That's why I have 9 more titles available to me. I don't need to borrow that many at once because I know somebody might be waiting. So if you know that you're through with a book and you're all done, if you go to your loans page, which you can always access when you go to my account and then loans, when you go to my loans page, then you can click return and that will say, do you want to return this title? Return title. And that will free it up for another person. Some of our services don't have this need to do this because all the titles are available to everybody all the time. This one is one where somebody might be waiting. So we always recommend returning when you can. Other thing to see from my account is this is where you can see your holds. You can also put things on a wish list if you're not ready to request them, but it's things that you're interested in, your reading history, and this just encompasses your digital reading history. So any physical book that you had checked out won't be on that list. But if I go out to my holds, I can see the status of my holds. Okay, so there's that one. Oh goodness, that's the only one? Okay, well, there's just one. I'm the third in line on one copy, apparently. I have no idea what this book is, but I'm sure I put a hold on it at some point. Okay. All right, so those are the basics here. I really hope that you have a good time looking at our digital library. As always, if you need assistance with this, if you go to our website right now, we've got some special support happening. Usually you can just go to the contact us and either email or call us. At the moment, because the library is closed, we do have some other phone and email support options. You can email either right there or call these 3 numbers depending on what your question is. You can give us a call, leave a message, and we will get back to you as soon as we can with some assistance over the phone. All right. Happy reading.